lovely to see you all, and welcome to yoga. Okay, so today's theme is listen closely, which is what we do generally anyway, but we're going to listen extremely closely today. So I just wanted to sort of talk about what people come to yoga for, really, in the first place. And some people come just for physical reasons, healing physical, maybe healing emotional pain. So also maybe to reduce stress and anxiety, gain some strength, and some flexibility. So in amongst all of that, that's maybe what people come first of all to yoga for. And then as you progress in your yoga journey, it develops really into cultivating a sort of a steadiness and an attentiveness. And the asana brings almost like a window into the nature of the mind. So while we're moving with the body and the breath, we're getting to know ourselves a little bit better. We're cultivating a sense of openness as well, almost to be fully tuned in to you know. So what at first starts off as a physical practice becomes more of a tool for calming the mind and settling the emotions and awakening a sense of spirit. So today we're going to be listening closely to all of those things, how we develop our sense of calmness and steadiness, and just sort of thinking about what it is, what our journey and our yoga journey is all about, and what direction we're going in. So we'll start with our usual settling down the body. Oops, a little bit of cramp in my foot. Can you all hear me okay? Good. I've got my dongle today, so hopefully you won't have any problems hearing. So just making sure that you're sitting nice and comfortably. So you either, if sitting cross-legged isn't comfortable, you can have your legs out straight and you can lean up against something, just as long as you're feeling comfortable. But notice how you're sitting, and notice the however your body is being supported. If you've got crossed legs, then your body is being supported by that triangle of your legs, and lift up out of your pelvis so that you can make some space between each part of the vertebrae. So lifting up nice and tall, and then check in your shoulders are nicely down and relaxed, and lifting up with the crown of the head up to the space above you. And then place your hands into Chin Mudra, the back of the hands in contact with the legs, and the index finger and the thumb touching, and the other three fingers just gently extending. And then gently close your eyes. And just allow all the skin on the face to soften. Your eyes softly closed. The cheeks soft. The lips softly closed. Just gently breathing through the nostrils. Just allow your jaw to sag a little. Your tongue just gently in your mouth. And then bring your attention to your breath. And notice how you're breathing. Notice which parts of your body are moving with the breath. Notice if your abdomen is moving in and out with the breath, or whether your chest is moving. Don't worry about changing anything, just noticing it, paying close attention to your breath. And then together we'll chant 3 rounds of the mantra Om. Taking your first breath in. Curling your 3 fingers in towards your palm. Take your awareness to your heart center. Bringing to mind anyone you know that's suffering at the moment. Holding those people in your mind's eye while we chant 7 rounds of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra for health, healing, and the relief of suffering. Taking a breath in. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Uvarukamiva Bandhanat Mricho Makshiyamamritat. And then placing the back of one hand in the lap, the back of the other hand in the palm. Taking your awareness to your eyebrow center. Visualizing a point of light at the eyebrow center, maybe a candle flame burning brightly. And from that point of light, we'll chant 7 rounds of the Gayatri mantra for wisdom, truth, and understanding. Taking a breath in. Om Bhurvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat Om Bhuvasvaha Tat Savita Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. And then quietly coming down to lay on your backs in Shavasana. So just checking that your body is in a nice straight line. Your chin tucked in, back of the neck nice and long. And the arms a little bit away from the sides of the body. The backs of the hands in contact with the floor. And the legs and feet a little bit apart, feet falling out sideways. So we're going to be working with a pranayama breath called Samvita Pranayama. And really it's basically yogic breathing, where you're going to be breathing into the abdomen and into the chest, but breathing in as much air as you can. So you're breathing into the chest right up to the collarbone. And then when you exhale, you're breathing out from the chest back down to the abdomen, expelling as much air as possible. So we're going to start off in that way, just breathing in, into the abdomen, into the chest, inhaling as much air as possible, and then exhaling from the chest, exhaling from the abdomen, expelling as much air as possible. And the in-breath and the out-breath are almost like a wave of the sea. So just noticing the way the body moves with the breath. Almost like the waves of the sea. Inhaling, first of all, into the abdomen, and then the chest. Inhaling as much air as possible, and then exhaling from the chest down into the abdomen, expelling as much air as possible. Just working in that way for a few more breaths. Paying close attention to the breath and to the body. And on the next inhalation, when you've inhaled as much air as you can, hold the breath inside for a few moments. And then when you need to breathe out very slowly. In, breathing out very slowly, exhaling as much air as you possibly can. Squeezing the abdomen at the end of the exhalation before you inhale once more. So you're inhaling, expanding the abdomen, and then inhaling into the chest. Inhaling as much air as possible. Holding the breath at the top of the inhale. And then exhaling from the chest, exhaling from the abdomen, squeezing all the air as much as you can out of the body before you inhale again. Just continue breathing in that way, inhaling as much air as you can into the body, holding the breath, and then exhaling slowly, expelling as much air as possible from the body. Paying close attention to what's happening, the breath flowing in and out like the waves of the sea, the body moving with the breath. And just taking 5 more breaths in that way, holding the breath at the top of the inhalation, expelling as much air as you can on the exhalation. And then when you finish the practice, just allowing the body to breathe spontaneously. And just rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips. Start wiggling your fingers. Start wiggling your toes. And then on the next inhalation, raising your arms up above your head, taking them all the way over to the floor behind you, holding the breath in while you stretch through fingertips to toes. And then when you need to breathe out, returning your arms back to the sides of the body. And working twice more. And then preparing to work with the reverse boat pose. So the next time you inhale, take your arms up and over to the floor behind you. Hold the breath in while you squeeze your buttocks together and just raise your hips a little off the floor. So pressing into your heels and your shoulders while you just raise your hips a little off the floor. When you need to exhale, returning your arms to the sides of the body, just releasing the hips down. And twice more. Make sure you don't strain. So you're just raising your hips just a little slightly off the floor while you're holding the breath in and then releasing while you then returning your arms to the sides of the body. So this time, instead of taking your arms over to the floor behind you, you're just going to let your arms, just bring your arms up towards the ceiling with your fingertips towards the ceiling, and just let your arms float there in the air. Check your shoulders, allow your shoulders to really sink into the earth. And then on the next inhalation, you're just going to raise your right shoulder blade, reaching your right fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, releasing your right shoulder back down. Really let your right shoulder sink into the earth, exactly the same as the left shoulder. So your both shoulders are equal. So you're going to work with the right shoulder twice more. Inhaling, raising the right shoulder, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhaling as you lower that right shoulder. Make sure you're really sinking that right shoulder into the earth and that both shoulder blades are equal. And then when you've worked 3 times with the right shoulder, working 3 times with the left shoulder. Notice what's happening to the right shoulder. Make sure the right shoulder is really softly into the earth. So you're letting go with one shoulder and reaching up with the fingers on the other shoulder. And then when you've worked with the left shoulder, working with both shoulders, so your arms still up towards the ceiling. Inhaling as you raise both shoulders off the floor. And then exhaling as both shoulders sink back down into the floor. Check that both shoulders are equal. And twice more. Paying very close attention to what's happening in your shoulder blades. And then when you've completed the practice, slowly allowing your arms to come back to the sides of the body. And noticing Any sensations, paying very close attention to what's happened, how your shoulders feel now. Do both shoulders feel the same, or does one feel different to the other? Are both shoulders equally in contact with the floor? And then bringing your knees up towards your chest and hugging them. Take hold of your kneecap. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side. So your head is going in the same direction as your knees. And then gently place one foot down on the floor and then the other one. Keeping your knees bent and your feet near to your buttocks. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling again and place your palms together. So your palms are together, your elbows are straight. And then lengthen the left leg along the floor. So you're going to use your right foot to help you to twist over to the left. So your arms are going to go towards the left. Your right foot is going to help you to twist over to the left. And then come back. So it might be that you just feel that it's appropriate just to turn a little bit. So you're noticing the shoulder blades rolling on the floor. So as you exhale, you're twisting to the left and then inhaling back to the center. So just make sure that you're not straining in any way. So 3 more times, just twisting to the left. And notice if your hips come off the floor as your arms come across to the left. Just notice that happening. And then working 5 times. So lengthening the other leg and bending the whichever leg it is. I can't remember now which one it is. And then working 5 times in the opposite direction. Just notice how your shoulders are rolling along the floor. Notice how your body is moving, keeping your elbows straight. And then when you've completed the practice, lengthening the legs along the floor and the arms back to the sides of the body. And spend a few moments noticing, making close attention to how your shoulders and your spine feels. Notice any sensations in your hands and your fingers or your arms. Notice your toes and your feet. Notice the contact of your body on the floor. Notice how you're breathing. Then interlocking your hands behind your head. So that your head is cradled in your palms. And bending your knees, placing the soles of the feet near to your buttocks. So your elbows are out wide. As you inhale, you're bringing your elbows towards your ears. And then exhaling, going to raise your head and shoulders, tucking your chin in. When you need to inhale, gently lower the head back to the floor, keeping your elbows close to your ears. And then exhaling, your elbows wide. So I'll talk you through another round. Inhaling as you bring your elbows towards your ears. Exhaling, tucking your chin in, raising your head and shoulders off the floor. When you need to inhale, gently lowering the head back to the floor, keeping your elbows by your ears. And then exhaling, your elbows wide. So working 3 more rounds. Inhaling, your elbows close to your ears. Exhaling, tucking your chin in, raising your head and shoulders. Really press your abdomen into the earth, your lower back into the earth as you raise your head and shoulders. Inhaling, releasing your head back to the floor. And exhaling, the elbows wide. Notice as you raise your head and shoulders that your spine comes into contact with the floor. So really press the lower spine into the floor as you raise your head and shoulders, drawing in the abdominal muscles. And when you've completed the practice, lengthening the legs along the floor and bringing your arms back to the sides of the body. Notice the body. Notice the breath. Paying close attention to any sensations. And then bending the left knee, placing the sole of the left foot near to the buttocks. So we're preparing for the leg lock pose, but it's a variation of the leg lock pose. So you're going to bring the right knee towards the chest. Take hold of the kneecap. Exhale as you squeeze the knee towards your chest and bring your head and shoulders up towards your knee. So your right eye is coming towards your right knee. Inhale as you, hold the breath while you release the head back down to the floor. And then inhale, straightening the leg up towards the ceiling. So you're straightening the leg up towards the ceiling and exhaling the leg back down. So you're exhaling the straight leg back down. So I'll talk you through another round. So it might, do you want to just watch me so that you know what to do? So you're going to inhale the knee towards the chest, take hold of the knee, squeeze your knee towards your chest, exhale, bringing your eye towards your knee, hold the breath out as you replace your head, and then inhale as you straighten your leg towards the ceiling, exhaling your leg back down. So I'll talk you through another round. So it's a little bit different to how we normally do it. So your left knee bent, your right leg stretched out along the floor. So inhaling, bringing the right knee towards the chest, take hold of the knee, squeeze the knee towards the chest. Exhale as you raise your head and shoulders, your right eye coming towards your right knee. Hold the breath out while you replace your head back to the floor. And then inhale, straightening the leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, the straight leg back down to the floor. So inhaling as you take your knee towards your chest, take hold of your kneecap, squeeze your knee towards your chest, exhale, raising your head and shoulders, your right eye coming towards your right knee. Hold the breath out while you gently put your head back down to the floor, and then inhale, straightening your leg up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, straight leg back down to the floor. And just twice more with the right leg. Remembering to hold the breath out while you put your head back down towards the floor. And then inhale the straight leg up. When you've completed the practice on the right side, just lengthening the legs away from you. Notice the difference between the right and the left side. Just paying close attention to how your body feels, how your shoulders feel, how your spine feels. How your hips feel. Are your buttocks equally in contact with the floor? Are your arms equally in contact with the floor? What about your shoulders? Are they equal in the contact of the shoulders with the floor? And then drawing your left knee back, bending your left knee, placing the sole of the foot near to your buttocks, sorry, wrong knee. We're going to work with the left leg this time. So you're going to bend your right knee, place the sole of the foot near to the buttocks, and then working 5 rounds on the left side. So inhaling the knee towards the chest, taking hold of the knee, exhaling as you raise your head and shoulders. Hold the breath out while you gently place the head back down, and then inhale the straight leg up. Exhaling the straight leg back down to the floor. We're working 5 rounds in total, so it's 4 more rounds. And when you've completed the practice, just lengthening the legs along the floor, noticing the body. Notice any sensations. Are your hips in contact with the floor equally? Are your shoulders equally in contact with the floor? Just allow the whole body to soften into the floor. Are your arms equal on each side? Are your fingers? Notice your fingers. Notice your feet and your toes. And then bending your knees again, placing the soles of your feet near to the buttocks. And having your hands with your palms facing downwards at the sides of your body. So we're preparing for the shoulder bow pose. So you're going to make sure your chin's tucked in. And as you breathe in, you're just going to press the small of your back into the floor and gently tilt the pelvis. And then exhale, releasing. So focusing on inhaling into the abdomen, but at the same time pressing into the floor with your lower back. So notice where the breath is going. Is it going into your abdomen? Is it, as you press the spine into the floor, how is the breath going into your abdomen? Is it going more into your chest or is it going into your abdomen? Just notice that. And then on the next inhalation, as you breathe in, you're going to press the small of the back into the mat and then let your hips float up. And then exhaling, coming back down, but coming down from the top to the bottom of the spine. So each vertebrae comes down separately. So working 4 more times, inhaling, pressing the small of the back into the mat, and then as you float the hips high, hold the breath in for a moment, and then exhaling 1 vertebrae down at a time from the top to the bottom. And as you're working, as you float your hips high, notice your shoulders. Are both shoulders equal? Notice your legs, keep your legs parallel. Are you putting any pressure into your hands and your arms? Just notice that. Just notice what's moving, how you're moving. Notice your breath as you're moving. So you're paying close attention to everything that's happening as you move. So 5 rounds in total. Paying close attention to what's happening as your body moves. Notice how much effort is going into your feet. Notice what your legs are doing. Are the legs staying parallel? And then working 1 final round, but this time holding the hips high for 5 equal breaths. Floating the hips high and holding them there for 5 nice easy breaths. Paying attention to your shoulders, your arms, your feet. Make sure your legs are staying parallel, your chin tucked in. And when you come down, very gently releasing down 1 vertebrae at a time. And then when you've completed the practice, lengthening the legs along the floor. Turning the palms up, just allowing the body to soften. And then turning over onto your front. Placing your palms underneath your shoulders or next to your shoulders. So we're preparing for the cobra pose. So your forehead is on the floor and your legs are nice and loose, no tension in your legs or your buttocks. So breathing into your abdomen, just allowing the abdomen to expand, and notice the contact of the abdomen on the floor. So the next time you breathe into your abdomen, hold the breath in and then raise your head and shoulders off the floor, but don't use your hands. You're just using the muscles in the top of your back. And then exhaling, gently lower. And working 4 more times. Inhaling into the abdomen before you raise your head and shoulders, using that breath in the abdomen to help you raise your head and shoulders. So on the next inhalation, inhaling into the abdomen, and this time pressing into the hands, and just raise your head and shoulders a little bit further. So you're inhaling into the abdomen, holding the breath as you raise your head and shoulders, and then press into your hands. Continue to breathe in a little bit more air as you raise up a little bit higher. Make sure you're not going to strain, keeping your pubic bones on the floor. Exhaling as you release down. And twice more. Inhaling into the abdomen first, holding the breath in while you raise your head and shoulders. Then pressing into your hands, inhaling a little bit more, keeping your elbows tucked in, your shoulders relaxed, and then exhaling as you gently lower. And making pillows with your hands once you've completed the practice. Resting your forehead on the back of your hand. And then place your hands underneath your shoulder blades, push yourselves up into your hands and knees, and then slide your hips back onto your heels into the child's pose. So coming into the child's pose, just resting your hips back onto your heels. And then coming up onto your hands and knees, onto all fours. So just watch for a moment. So we're going to check that your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So you're going to sink your hips back, and then come up as you inhale. Bring your hips down and your chest through your arms into a high cobra. Sometimes it's called the upward dog, and then exhaling back into the child pose. So inhaling, hips down, chest through the arms, and exhaling back into the child pose. Just working 2 more rounds. So we're going to incorporate the Parvatasana into the sequence. So if you just watch for a moment. So we're going to start off in child pose. Inhale, coming into the upward dog, and then coming into a flat back, but turning your toes under, raising your knees a little, bringing your chest back to your thighs, raising your hips high, coming back down into the child pose. So we're coming forward into the upward dog. Turn your toes under, bring your chest towards your thighs, float your hips up high, come back down, back into the child pose. So I'll talk you through the sequence. So starting in child pose, extended child pose with your arms out, stretched in front of you. Inhale as you come up, bring your chest forward, hips down, and then exhaling, tucking your toes under, raising your knees off the floor a little. Take your chest back towards your thighs, float your hips up high. And inhaling as you're coming down with your knees, and exhaling back into extended child's pose. And just continue flowing with the breath. Inhale as you come forward, your chest through to your arms, your hips down. Exhaling as you come back to your hands and knees, raising your knees, chest towards your thighs, float your hips high. And then inhaling back down, bringing your knees back towards the floor, coming back into the child pose. Make sure you don't strain, only do what your body feels is right for you. If you need to rest, then just come into laying on the floor in Uttanasana. Just working 2 more rounds. When you've completed the practice, coming into laying on your back, with just coming into Shavasana with your legs straight, arms at the sides of the body. Noticing how you feel. Paying close attention to how the body's lying on the floor. Are your shoulders the same on each side? Are your arms the same on each side? Your fingers? Is the weight of your buttocks equal on both parts of your buttocks? Are your legs equal? Notice your feet. Are they the same, both feet? So drawing your knees up, bending your knees, placing the soles of your feet near to your buttocks and your arms out to the side. So we're going to work with a variation of 3 sides of a square. So you're going to slide your left hand along your chest. So shall I show you first? So if you just want to watch for a moment. So you're going to slide your right hand across your chest and then take your hands towards each other so that your palms come together. And at the same time, you'll notice that your knees will want to turn over as well. So your knees are turning to the right. And then as you inhale, you're going to slide your hands and open your arm. And then go the other way. So the left hand sliding towards the right palm. And then your knees will come to turn to the right as well. As you come back, you'll notice that your knees come back as well. So you're laying down on your back with your knees bent and your arms out to the side. So starting with sliding your left hand across your chest, taking your left hand towards your right palm so that your palms are together and your knees come to the right as well. And then as you inhale, sliding your left hand across your chest, opening your arms out and your knees will come back to the center. And then the same on the other side. So sliding, exhaling, sliding your hand across your chest, palms together, knees coming over to the side. Just continue flowing with the breath. Just notice how much effort you're making with your knees, whether your knees just follow your arms or whether your knees are moving at the same time as your arms. So paying close attention to the movement. And imagine your body's like a rolling pin, rolling from side to side. Notice if your your shoulders are moving first before your hips, or whether your hips are moving, whether your knees are moving first or your arms moving first. Just allowing the shoulders to roll. And then just working one more round and coming to stillness. Noticing your body. Noticing any sensations in your shoulders, your arms. Notice any sensations in your back, your legs. Notice if your shoulders are equally in contact with the floor. Does the weight of the shoulders equal on both sides? Is the weight of the buttocks the same on both sides? Like the feet, both feet equal, the weight in the feet or the heels? And then gently coming up to a comfortable sitting position for pranayama practice. So we're going to work with Nadi Shodhan, the alternate nostril breath. So we're going to work with stage 1, but we're going to work with it a little bit differently because we're going to work with breathing in and out through the left nostril with an equal in-breath and an equal out-breath to start with, and then breathing in and out through the left nostril with an equal in-breath and an equal out-breath. But you're not going to do breathe in and out with both nostrils. You're just going to breathe in and out through the left 5 times, in and out through the right 5 times, with an equal in-breath and equal out-breath. And then after 5 rounds of an equal in-breath and an equal out-breath, you're going to lengthen the out-breath to twice as, well, start to lengthen the out-breath to twice as long as the in-breath on each nostril. That makes sense, but I'll talk you through it. So we'll just settle the body first to make sure that you're sitting nice and comfortably. The spine is nice and straight. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and the crown of your head lifting to the space above you. So gently start to connect with the breath. We're just going to make sure that the breath is equal before we start the alternate nostril breath. So breathing in, maybe counting to 3, and then exhaling and counting to 3. So make sure that the breath is equal both on the in-breath and the out-breath. And then when you're ready, going to close the right nostril with the thumb, place 2 fingers on the eyebrow center, and breathe in and out 5 times through the left nostril with equal number. So if you're breathing to 3, breathe in and out through the left nostril, counting to 3 as you breathe in, and 3 as you breathe out. Five times through the right nostril, 5 times through the left nostril, counting the equal number, and then 5 times through the right nostril, an equal number. So you're going to do that 5 times, 5 rounds, counting equally on the in-breath and the out-breath. When you've completed your 5 rounds, bring your hand down to your lap, just breathing normally for a few breaths. So this time you're going to start to breathe through the left nostril to the count of 3, if that's your number. And then you're just going to gradually increase the length of the exhalation. So you're going to work 5 more rounds, but increasing the length of the exhalation towards twice as long as the inhalation. So just continuing to breathe 5 times into the left nostril, lengthening the exhalation a little bit, and then 5 times into the right nostril, lengthening the exhalation a little. And just continue breathing 5 times through the left nostril, 5 times through the right nostril, lengthening the length of the exhalation. Make sure you don't strain the breath. And then just working one further round on each side, finishing on the right nostril. And then when you've completed the practice, wrapping yourselves up for a final relaxation. So just checking that your body is in a straight line, chin tucked in, back of the neck nice and long. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears, and the arms a little bit away from the sides of the body, backs of the hands in contact with the floor, and the legs and feet slightly apart, feet falling out sideways. And just feel the whole of the body in contact with the floor. Notice the back of the head and each shoulder blade. Notice the arms, the hands, Notice the soft curl of the fingers. Notice all the parts of the back in contact with the floor. Notice the buttocks, the backs of the legs, the heels. Notice all the parts where there's a little bit of a gap between the body and the floor. The back of the neck, all the parts of the back, maybe the small of the back, underneath the knees, the space underneath the ankles, and just allow your whole body to soften. Let the whole body soften. Just feel the weight of your clothes on your skin. Feel any sensations of the air on any uncovered skin. Notice the whole body. And be aware of the existence of the body. The body lying on the floor. Be aware of any sounds you can hear. Any sounds in the distance. Sounds within your room. Become aware of your breath, the subtle breath. Notice the breath in the nostrils. Notice the air entering through your nostrils up to your eyebrow center as you breathe in, that triangle of breath. And then as you breathe out from the eyebrow center out to the edges of the nostrils. Notice the triangle of the breath in the nostrils. And visualize breathing in through the left nostril, breathing out through the right nostril, breathing in through the right nostril, breathing out through the left nostril. Continue visualizing breathing in through alternate nostrils, in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. Continue breathing through alternate nostrils. And letting go of the awareness of the breath now. Becoming aware of your body. Becoming aware of any sounds you can hear. Sounds outside your room. Sounds closer to you inside your room. This relaxation practice is now complete. You're taking your awareness to your feet and your toes. And gently start to make some small movements with your feet and your toes. And be aware of your fingers and your hands. And start making some small movements with your fingers and your hands. Stretching your arms. Stretching any parts of your body that need to stretch. And then keeping your eyes softly closed when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable sitting position. And we'll finish by chanting the mantra Om 3 times together. Taking a breath in. Rubbing your hands briskly together to create some heat in the palms. Then placing your warm palms over your closed eyelids. Opening your eyes into the darkness. Allowing chinks of light to come in through your fingertips. And then drawing your hands down to your laps when you're ready. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you. And Namaste.